Hey everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of the new Byte Podcast. Yeah.
Hi.
It's the E3 hype week. Only a few more days to go, and then we can finally go back to being snarky and cynical about video games. Like, actually, we hate video games.
Boring.
Joined today, as always, we have Emily to my left. Hey Emily, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm great.
Awesome.
How are you?
I'm good as well. Of course, we also have Dan on board. How are you doing?
Hello, guys.
Hey.
I am good, sir. I completed an awesome stream, and I managed to make some cool minis. So
Nice. And as our special guest for this week, we have Martin, known as AuBanan on YouTube, but you can also see his English Twitter handle down below. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hi, I'm very excited, especially with E3 on the horizon. I think there's a lot to talk about.
Oh yeah, lots of things to talk about, to enjoy. I'm really curious about what you think about all the things. I'm just quickly checking back if the stream and everything is working. We're a little tight with time today, but I'm sure we can still deliver a great show. So, of course, as I said before, we have E3 coming up. But before we do that, Emily actually wanted to ask a few questions to our guests. So, I mean, stage is yours. Let's find out who our guest is.
So I was wondering, what kind of retro games do you play? I was on your Twitter and I thought, you play like retro games. Cool.
A lot. I mean, I'm a Nintendo guy, so of course, a lot of Nintendo stuff. Ocarina of Time is still my favorite game of all time. So I'm playing this I'm playing it once a year. I think it might be 2 years since I last finished it, because nowadays it's pretty much like I want to play something because I want to do a video about it. So Ocarina of Time, I talked about it. So, it's a little bit, I have to sadly let it go and play something else. So I'm playing, I'm playing Jade Empire right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
and so that's on the Nintendo?
No, I play that on Xbox One because it's original Xbox game from BioWare. The forgotten BioWare game, a little bit everybody remembers Knights of the Old Republic and the Jade Empire. No, exclusive for the original Xbox, and I think it came on PC a few years later.
Wow. You said you had a lot of games. Do you know how many exactly?
I don't know. I really need to get on one of these websites where you can just log everything and that, so I can just look that up. But I'm too lazy for that.
Roughly, how many games would you say that you had? Like over 100, over 200?
I would say the question is, digital games, do they count?
I would say any kind of video game count.
Okay, everything. Well,
Millions.
the thousands, the thousands.
I'm not sure if in the thousands, but it could be more than 1,000.
Wow, that is a crazy number.
I mean, I looked at everything here is GameCube, so I think I have 60, 70 GameCube games.
Wow, that is so bad.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So what's your favorite retro console?
I mean, GameCube kind of was the first system where I really fell in love with video games.
Okay.
I played some on N64, but GameCube was the console, my first real console that I had at home, because my parents were against it for a while. So
Really?
my youth was pretty much spent outside. And it has its ups, it has it's okay. But still,
The 90s were different.
Was the first console. Yeah, exactly.
It's a different.
But yeah, the GameCube is the console where video games really became part of my life. So Metroid Prime, my second favorite game of all time. maybe even Beyond Good and Evil as my third favorite game of all time. I'm not sure, but it's up there. I love it. It's a great game.
I just looked up what a Nintendo GameCube is because it's a little bit before my time.
Yeah, I guess so. Wasn't that around the Millennium Change?
That's great.
When did they come out?
It came out
2002.
2002, yeah. 2001 in Japan, and in EU it was May 3rd, 2002.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put this out there. I was 2 or 3 when that came out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. I'm old. That's the message here. Okay, I get it.
We're all kind of old then. But this is a running gag, like Emily's too old for all the 90s things. Too young for all the 90s things. That makes us old automatically. But I mean, going towards 30, that makes sense, at least from my standpoint.
Oh, yes, yeah. I'm turning 29 this year.
27 for me. Ah.
wow. Okay.
We're
Just
still doing
like-
podcast.
Yeah,
It's okay. I'm not really worried about it. I'm young enough, so...
maybe we should carry on. I feel like it's
Yeah.
So what's next on the agenda?
I mean, I have one last question because we asked a few things about Martin, like what does he like and all. But what do you do actually? Why are you here? Why did I invite you? Let's do a little quick introduction of yourself, because of course this is also a platform where we want to have the guests to advertise what they do, their projects. So let's hear something.
Yes, right. Okay, I have like you said, my channel name is AuBanan. It's in German, and right now it's pretty much under construction because I'm rethinking everything, and I'm not really happy with what I did there.
Mm.
So, kind of a break now, but I never said that. Breaking news right here.
Exclusive.
And well, I have Unlimited Ammo, which is like my podcast thing. Right now, it will be more
It's
than
literally
that.
called Unlimited Ammo.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
I was like, what? Is he cheating?
Yeah, Unlimited Ammo is like my project where I work with a lot of other German YouTubers, and we come together and we talk about stuff, and it can be everything. Like, of course, we had a God of War review podcast. We have a lot of anime guys that are talking about anime stuff.
Yeah.
And
I love the Detective Conan one. That was awesome.
Yeah, that's great. And
4.5 hours.
I mean, we have completely stupid ideas. Like, we are going through the Pokemon designs of every generation. We're at Gen 2 right now, and we're deciding which Pokemon is going to survive. And everything that we don't like is just completely, it's like gone. It's not.
Well, I hope you'll keep Porygon.
Oh yes, I think I'm not sure. I'm fuzzy on the memories, but I think not everybody killed it. I can say that.
Okay.
And yes, today we released the Sex and the City podcast, so it can be really everything.
Not what I was expecting as the next podcast.
Yeah, we kept that a secret intern. Like, nobody knew what it was, because we were like, my colleague just came at me like, hey, you want to talk about Sex and the City? And I never watched that, but I can watch it and then we can talk about it. Yes, and so we did that. And we kept it a secret, and nobody knew that we were doing that. We were like, yeah, we have something here. And yeah, now it's out there. And everybody is like, okay, what the fuck? And it's 3 hours long, so like, dig in there.
You still haven't done the movies, like, oh. It was like a fun way. The podcast came out and I was like, oh, I didn't expect that. And shortly after, okay, but what about the movies? They're really bad.
Yeah, maybe we'll be talking about them someday. Like, this one was just the first season, so maybe we continue to talk about it. People liked it.
Cool.
Yeah, maybe someday I will do shit in English too. I don't know, but
who knows?
I want to. I really want to, but it's
at least you got a Twitter for it already. So.
Yeah, exactly. At German Wit, if someday something happens, it will be there.
Yeah. absolutely. So that's, well, of course, why I'll link that Twitter down below, your webcam, so people who watch this podcast can find you on this handle. Yeah, I was also
By the
part
way-
of the... Oh,
By the way, where do we have to point at you? We met at a job
right.
interview. That's very
That way.
interesting. That way, okay. We
That way.
met at a job interview. We were competing. And,
basically, I mean, you have to your top right. That's where I am. So Emily's right
Okay.
above you. To your physical right is Dan, and I'm like top right. And yes, we met
Whatever.
at a job
you
interview.
got the joke.
Yeah, it was actually a crazy time back then because I was in the middle of almost stopping my university adventure. Because I had really high doubts, and then the opportunity came around to go to Berlin to have an interview, which I did, and we met there. We were one of I think 9 contestants. Like they had always 3 people there over the span of 3 days, and I think we were like the second day there. And yeah, that's where we got to know each other and talk to each other ever since. And now we're doing a little more things. I was on your podcast, you're on mine now, so
Yes.
that's awesome. It's always what
Excellent.
I'm
That's
looking
great.
for, working with more people. I love that. And yeah, that was a fun thing. It's funny how we're both not there anymore.
Yeah.
I was never there to the
Right.
beginning, but whatever.
Yeah, but maybe you dodged the bullet there. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, I think we're both happy where we are right now, and that's what
So yeah,
counts.
exactly. I don't want to talk shit. It's okay. It's okay. It wasn't like terribly bad, but wasn't perfect either.
Yeah. Sometimes if you live the dream, you just see all the cracks in the foundation of that dream. You see like, it's not that worth it, maybe. All right. I guess that's it for now. Shall we move on? I see a few notes in Discord chat. Because I can't see Discord right now because it's currently captured in OBS, I will quickly glance over here. But Dan, maybe you want to introduce a little bit about E3.
Oh, the E3 lineup?
Yeah.
Right. So, I believe on Saturday, I think that is Saturday the 9th so in 3 days, we have the EA press conference at, I believe that's 8 o'clock CET.
CET, yeah, all the times of CET, so you have to go -1 for your GMT time.
So that would be 7 o'clock GMT. Then we have the next day at 10 o'clock CET or 9 p.m. 9 p.m.
Yeah, that's correct.
GMT. We have the Microsoft press conference. Then Monday is a very, very, very busy day.
Yes.
So that has Bethesda at 3:30 in the morning. So that would be 2:30 in the morning. Man, I'm going to have a lot of energy drinks to stay up for that one.
Same.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Devolver Digital at 5, so 4 p.m. 4 a.m. Then Square Enix at 7, so 6 p.m. And Ubisoft at 9:15, which is a very odd choice for a time.
Yeah. They have a little pre-show going, so I'm not too sure
okay.
about that as well. Somebody
It'll
tweeted that
probably be-
time's out, so
Yeah, maybe it'll be like 45 minutes, and then they'll probably start at 10
Yeah.
o'clock. So that'll be a 8 o'clock, a 8:15 start for the Ubisoft if you're in the UK. Then on the Tuesday the 12th. Yeah, Tuesday the 12th. There's the PC gaming show at midnight. In the midnight or 1 or 11 p.m. I'm really bad with these times. I apologize. But 11 p.m. In the UK, there'll be the PC gaming show. Then 3 in the morning or 2 in the morning, it will be the Sony show finally. 2 days after Microsoft. Interesting. And then on at 6 or 5 in the UK, the Nintendo will be showing their thing finally.
yeah, and then we finally see what Smash Bros is all about.
Interesting.
Right. So, as a little guideline, how we want to do this, I think we can probably go through each presentation, talk a little bit about what we know about that and what our hopes for that are, and then can end on Nintendo, I guess, because that's probably the biggest topic to talk about. So, dear chat, yes, if you have any questions, shout them out in the chat. We'll probably go in on them as well. For example, somebody's asking, will you talk about the new Pokemon game for Switch? depending on which one you mean, because we have 3 to talk about now, which is crazy. Just not 1, just 3 already.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So many.
That will all come up very soon. So let's get right into it with EA at EA Play in Hollywood. Just to think about this, we have news that just came out. Actually, EA has turned on the servers again for Skate 3. And that is something that I didn't expect to hear at all. And some people are already speculating like, would they do that maybe just because they also want to announce Skate 4 very soon? Who knows?
Maybe with Tony Hawk. Like, they could get him.
That would be cool.
Like his contract has run out with Activision, I think.
And he wasn't happy, so
no, he wasn't happy.
So
I was happy
you
as
can
well.
get him. It's like really easy to get him, probably. I mean, you will be paid, but but it will be worth it. And Electronic Arts has the money, so it makes sense.
I'd love to see that. Just like THPS and Skate 4 was like a little bit competing, and to see like Skate 4 with special guest Tony Hawk, that would be amazing. I'd buy that instantly.
Yeah, exactly. So many people would just be like, "It's Tony Hawk. I'm getting it. It's happening."
Yeah. Still better than THPS.
But I guess it will be Skate gameplay, right? Like
Possibly.
no Tony Hawk arcade gameplay. It will be Skate featuring Tony Hawk.
Yeah,
Probably.
I guess so.
Tony Hawk Skate.
Yeah.
Yeah, other things that we already know that we're gonna see is, of course, Battlefield 5. We have Anthem coming up. I'm very excited for that.
Can't wait for that. Can't wait for that one. That looks good.
And of course, a lot more like sports titles. And I think we already saw that. We talked about it briefly the last few times. I think there will actually be Star Wars solo content for Battlefront. So we'll see Han Solo going around in Battlefront as well again.
Cool.
What?
I haven't seen the movie yet, Sadie.
You need to watch the movie. It's so good.
I want to see the movie because Donald Glover and Emily and I love the cast.
How about we put this on our to-do list when I'm in London so I can see the original version?
We'll take you to see it.
Awesome, let's do that. We only have one plan. I have
Luckily,
one plan now.
No problem in Berlin. You can watch everything in English. That's great.
Yeah, we only have like one day each week where we have one showing of a movie in the original version. That's a little sad.
You can watch just IMAX in English, so everything's alright.
That's good. I'm gonna do that. Awesome. Anything else about EA right now? They really talked a lot about what they're gonna show us, so it's not really that much of a surprise.
No. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see all of the some updated stuff, because Anthem they've been super, super quiet about since last reveal, back last year actually. So looking forward to seeing what they've got, and hopefully they might have a hands-on thing that we can get some news from people who are lucky enough to be there.
Wild prediction: FIFA will be there.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. The next thing we're done, right?
I think we're done.
Okay,
Yeah.
The next thing is
we
Microsoft.
We don't need to talk about electronic sports.
No. I'm not actually confident. Yeah, so Microsoft is next up on Sunday evening, and we already talked in the pre-show a little bit about that. Last year, we saw a lot of good games that actually didn't see the light of day. For example, Crackdown 3. Where is it? It's still not out, right?
Still coming.
Still coming. Maybe they'll finally have an actual release date. Who knows?
There's been some whispers in the wind for Scalebound. They're thinking of reviving that one.
Oh, that would be weird.
That would be
and
good.
amazing. If they would
be good.
I'd actually celebrate that. That would be amazing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I didn't play it, but at Gamescom, I think 2000. God, when they showed it at Gamescom, it was shown to me in a presentation, and it was my highlight of Gamescom. I really loved it. So I would love to see what it will be.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same game anymore,
Yeah, I believe the story it ended up like everyone was super excited for it, and then the studio that was doing it ended up not being able to do it, so Microsoft bought it but never really committed to bringing it out.
It was Platinum, right? It was Platinum Games.
I think so, yeah. And they just never really went full on with it. But if they did complete it, I think a lot of people would still be very interested.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't see any other games from last year that we could really see. Sea of Thieves, maybe new content update, who knows? PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is just doing its thing. Developers
you be over there. You be over there.
Oh yeah, of course. And the best thing about Microsoft, as always, Minecraft content.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm hoping for a little bit of the news on the Halo TV show with Steven Spielberg. Give me some more Halo news.
TV show.
Yeah, that was confirmed. I think it was a year or two ago, and then they had Steven Spielberg on board, and everyone was super excited. And then nothing happened. There was silence. So either they've dropped it completely and they're never going to tell anyone, or they're racing for a big reveal this year.
Yeah, but I also hope they have to show a lot of games because they need to show a lot of games.
Definitely.
It's just like, this is the last chance they have to really pull this around and, be like, hey, actually, Xbox matters. So, but right now it's just like, I bought my Xbox One at release date, so.
Same.
Oh wow! Okay.
Did you get the Project Scorpio edition?
No, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, I mean,
I paid the extra. I was disappointed by the extra mile. No, it's a good machine. It's definitely a good machine.
I paid for Kinect. That's far more worth it.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah, but I really hope they have a lot to show. I would love to see. I mean, I am not entirely sure if it's even possible because they closed down Lionsgate wasn't their name. That's the film studio. Yeah. What's their name?
What did they do?
Fable, the Fable guys.
Fable,
they closed down the studio, whatever their name was. Mm-hmm. And Fable, I don't know. I would love to see a Fable 4, but I don't know.
Yeah. I Google Fable Studio, and there's exactly one developer called Fable Studio. Oh, Lion's Head. Thank you, Chad.
Yeah, it is Lion's Head. Yeah. I used to. I know somebody who actually used to work for them during their Fable days, but he no longer is working there.
I think we shouldn't underestimate the role that Microsoft Xbox has right now because since they are a platform holder, not a publisher, they are the first ones who can actually show a few games before the other publishers. Like, for example, exclusive first look at Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which we know about already, and such things. So, yeah, they have a good chance to show off the games, maybe even the best way possible, at a time where most EU people can actually watch it. It's not too late, maybe, and the other times are more like really difficult to watch if you're not.
Yeah.
I mean, Square Enix at 7 p.m. that is already fine, and Ubisoft maybe at 9 p.m. Yeah, but for example,
be careful.
It's always the thing. Like Microsoft always does it early enough so that also Europe can watch it, but Sony always does it late at night here, and that's just crazy. So Sony has so many great things to show off, but most Europeans just aren't able to watch it.
I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to hit that both the American market and also the Japanese market, because Sony's like the biggest thing in Japan and China and the massive Asian market over there, because that's their console. But I do honestly think that Microsoft going first has always been a bit of a bold choice, especially with in my opinion, the absolutely shitty thing that Sony did when Microsoft announced there was going to be no sharing of games between, so I couldn't hand house test a game and say, hey, play this. And then they went backstage, took the CEO of the company and went, we can share games. It's as easy as this. And then they just literally filmed it there and then put it up on the big screen, which was it was so smug. It was so smug.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's a bold choice, and I hope they pull out something out of the bag. But I don't with kind of like Sony announcing that the PlayStation 4 is at the end of its cycle. It's like, okay, what are you doing now?
They still have like 2 years at least with the console.
Yeah, I just don't see why they think it's the end of the cycle. That just makes
It's a weird thing that they announced
it's
to
a
investors.
weird-
Like investors, of course, have high expectations and want to sell even more, of course. But they have to sort of be honest and say, well, it's on its way out. We're already working on the first few prototypes, maybe for the PlayStation 5 or whatever. And it's a different situation as if you're talking to a customer like us who are just playing the games, right? For us, nothing changes within the next 2 years, at least, I say. Yeah.
Definitely. So yeah, what is the next on the agenda?
Next one is Bethesda.
Ooh,
Fallout 76. Anyone? Emily,
Can
have you seen
Yes.
Fallout? Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm so stoked for like any announcements to do with a new Fallout game, because Fallout 3 is probably one of the best games that I've ever played, and I don't play many. But yeah, like I'm really excited about what Bethesda will announce to do with the actual Fallout game. And I'm excited to see more about it as well. I mean, they're also doing, I think, is it Rage 2?
Yep, Rage 2.
The other game, yeah.
Mhm.
I'm also really excited about that because although it's Bethesda as well, it'll be interesting to see a lot about. Aren't they going to to release like a proper trailer? Because
For Fallout.
yeah, Fallout.
Yeah,
they'll probably they'll definitely have
more
a
to
more
do
in
with
depth.
Yeah.
The
Because I
big
was
trailers are
literally-
always reserved for E3,
Yeah.
but they
I
always
was
announce
just-
it already beforehand, so people
I
know
was
why they should
literally
see these. Sorry, please.
watching the live stream and it says please stand by, and then it was going for so many hours, and
I was in that live stream.
24
was
hours,
like-
actually.
24 hours.
Yeah,
It was
That's
too
a
long.
whole day.
I
It
know.
was too long.
The fun thing
Yes.
is actually when they went home and they put the little Pip-Boy, or what's it called?
Yeah, the Pit Boy.
Yeah,
No,
they
not
put
Pit
him
Boy,
to
but
sleep,
the Fallout
and,
Boy. But yeah,
Followed by on a little blanket. Yeah, the Pip-Boy is sleeping at the gadget.
yeah.
I know my Fallout. And yeah, it was really cute to see. And the fun thing about that is, as I said last week, they actually had a few tie-ins because they were celebrating something, and nobody knew why. But after we saw the reveal, we knew, of course, yeah, Fallout 76 is the first wall that was planned to be opened again with the Reclamation Day, where the humans go out of the vaults to see how the overworld looks like. And yeah, well, Fallout happened. Yeah, not sure too much about that. I have one hope. Bethesda shows Doom 2, maybe, because I loved the last Doom, and maybe we'll get more of that. I don't know. Maybe. I don't even need more changes to the engine. Like, give me the same thing with a little bit more campaign. I'm happily buying that because it's just so much fun.
Their builder map mode was really cool.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
That was a good addition.
Other than that, I mean, Wolfenstein 2 was last year already, so they probably don't have anything for that, except maybe DLC, and maybe Elder Scrolls Online. Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably going to talk about the new Somerset that's coming out soon.
Yeah,
Somerset
mostly.
DLC.
Yeah.
But everyone's hoping for Elder Scrolls 6, and they have confirmed it's a long time off, and I'd be very shocked if they did, but I would be very happy.
Alright. Next up is Devolver Digital, and we're not talking about Devolver Digital. Then we have Square Enix at 7 p.m. CET. No, seriously, just watch Devolver Digital. It won't be a reveal of any game or something, but it will be worth your time.
Yeah,
I trust them. Last time, that was amazing. Square Enix. Any fans of Square Enix games? Final Fantasy? No, Kingdom Hearts 3. That's something that will pop up.
I'm
Release
interested
date
to
is-
see what the Avengers game will be like.
Yes, that one as well.
Yeah,
Who's doing
that
it
will
again?
be shown in some shape or form.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Who's doing it again? Who's developing that?
I'm not sure who is developing it. I just know it's Square Enix, but I don't know who is actually developing it.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Cool. is the developer of the new. Just hashtags the cat, the keyboard one.
I know how to Google it. It doesn't say anything here. It's just like, oh, they have something planned. Okay, whatever.
It's
Yeah,
still
Square
a big
Enix, except
release.
for Kingdom Hearts 3, I don't know anything about what they're gonna show. I don't think they have something
Tomb
with
Raider.
near Automata.
Tomb Raider will be shown, the next
Tomb
Tomb
Raider.
Raider.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I look
Shadow.
forward to that.
Was it Shadow of the Tomb Raider?
Yeah.
Sure, that makes sense. Yeah, gonna show that.
I don't like the title. It doesn't have a nice ring to it, I think. But
Yeah, they're not that great. All right, I guess we move on, right? Not too much to talk about. Ubisoft, as definitely the
Ubisoft.
Division 2. I'm personally excited for that one.
Same
Give me
here.
that.
Same here.
Give me that. We have more things. Probably a new Just Dance game, so whatever.
Yes, my boy, Beyond Good. Let's go.
And yeah, that one. Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Nice.
Really curious if they have actual gameplay this time to show.
They had they had somewhat. It was more engine gameplay, but they've their live streams that they've been doing. I think they've done 1 or 2.
Oh yeah.
Because I signed up for early beta
Space
access.
Monkey program.
The Space Monkey program. Let's go.
Yeah.
That was super. They're very, very interesting. Very ambitious. Very ambitious.
I hope it's not too ambitious. That's that's really my hope.
It's just that little bit of going. That's awesome, but
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because Beyond Good and Evil is a perfect example of a game that is very compact and not that big. You know, like the world. It's. I would be surprised. Like it's maybe as big as Ocarina of Time, but you get there faster because you have a hoverboard. So I don't know, but it's not that big. It's not like open world big, and not like open space big. So I'm like, really, what's that going to be like? You know?
Yeah.
I was watching one of their ones, and they were like, yeah, so you've got the city, and then you can go out of the city, and then you've got the planet, and then you can go out of the planet, and then you got the solar system. And then you have the galaxy. And it's like, okay, whoa. Calm down.
Slow down.
Take a
Space
pause. give me one city, and let's go from there, right? Whew.
Oh yeah, there will be a new Dragon Quest 11 game apparently.
Interesting.
Let's move on, right? Ubisoft. Oh,
we're on Ubisoft, but yeah, Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's
Creed, obviously. And breathe.
Complete shutdown.
And breathe.
We are at Ubisoft, yeah. So Division 2, we know we want to see that. New Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Who knows? Rumors have it that's actually not coming out this year, but actually next year. Which I would welcome if they take 2 years to do these games. They turn out actually better, as we saw with Origins, I think.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe just a little teaser, just like, oh, there's some cinematics that we did. Be excited for next year, probably. I'd hope for that. Yeah.
I still haven't played Origins, but I want to.
Same.
Definitely do. I recommend it wholeheartedly. It's if you liked Assassin's Creed Black Flag, you will like Origins.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm in because I like Black Flag a lot, but not the next ones.
Yeah, because Black Flag was fun because of its open world gameplay. It didn't really restrict you on where you could go, and you could do whatever you really wanted to. It's the same thing with Origins, except it's more land based. There's a little bit of water stuff, but the contrast between being in a really Greek/Roman city and then getting on a camel and riding out towards the desert, and then just being surrounded by nothing but desert is incredible. It's just a great feeling to do. So I honestly recommend the game so much.
Cool.
Yeah, I will definitely play it. I will definitely play it when it will be like for free at PlayStation or Xbox. Then I'm going to play it definitely.
All right.
Well, but maybe earlier.
Next up, we have PC Gaming Show, and usually these streams are always like very special, like about strategy games. They had XCOM last year, I think, so that was cool for those fans of that. But I'd still say XCOM is still a game series that's a little niche. It's not like super mainstream, really, and all that. So yeah, who knows? There are exclusive announcements, trailers, and discussions from many of the most exciting developers and projects on the platform on the horizon. Okay. Who knows? I'll probably skip this one and sleep a little bit, because soon after that we have Sony PlayStation. And we know at least 4 games that are there. Death Stranding, of course. Finally, some gameplay even. Kojima himself did the edit of the trailer, as he has shown us on Twitter, so cool. We have Spider-Man, which finally has a release date, I think, September 7th this year.
Super, super cool.
And The Last of Us Part 2.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah. 4th game is by Sucker Punch Productions, and that is called Ghost of Tsushima, and I don't know anything about that. I haven't even heard about that, so...
No.
It was announced at Paris Games Week last year, and it's like I think the trailer was not very. It was samurai-like, but other than that, I don't really remember anything about it.
Samurai game. Yeah,
I watched it once, and I was like, okay, this looks kind of cool, and that was it.
Yeah, the trailer that I see here from October 30th is just cinematics. Not really gameplay showing. So who knows, right? Yeah, especially people love to see Death Stranding and The Last of Us 2. Spider-Man, I think we already have a good glimpse of what it will be like, so we just want to have it.
Yeah.
Give
me Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I would love to see some new gameplay, but
sure.
I want the game.
Pictures of Spider-Man.
Oh, man. Death Stranding, who knows about that? And Last of Us Part 2. We already said in a pre-show, like, the first trailers that we saw so far were a little different. We didn't know, like, where are Ellie or... What's the father figure? Joel, right, sorry. So we haven't seen those yet, so who knows? Maybe it's a prequel or something else. I don't think so.
I'd be interested. I'm looking forward to it, because the Last of Us was such a great story. Like, you can't play that game and not just fall in love with the characters. The setting is fantastic. The action is perfect. It's just a wonderful game. I'm hoping, though, that with The Last of Us 2, it's a little more open world. I like the linear format, but it felt a little restrictive at sometimes. But that was more of a personal preference than anything else.
Do you think, like, the focus being so much on narrative, like open world would be like a big deal? Because I'm not sure if they can achieve the same thing they can with a linear structure story-wise, because it's so much more. There's so much more eventualities where you don't know where the player is going to go, and you're like, okay, what do we do if he does that? What do we do if he does that? And that's a little bit tricky.
I see where you're coming from, but then have you played? What is that game? It's the game with robots, and it's on PlayStation, and it's awesome.
Detroit?
No, but it's similar. It's the one with bows and arrows, but with robots. I'm blanking on the name.
Horizon
Zero Dawn.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
I played it.
That I would say you can have an open world with a great story structure, but in this case with The Last of Us 2, they might want to focus a bit more on the story aspect rather than in the open world. I do agree. But
the difference is Last of Us is a story about character and character developing. And I think that's really great for a linear game. If you do that in an open world, like God of War showed it a little bit, because there's this open aspect to the game.
Yeah.
They always have to go back to default with their characters. They can be like, okay, now he's completely different, because they have to have the dialogue of the side quest. They always have to work. They always have to go back to base level. And
sure.
I think that's the reason why I really doubt that it's going to be open world. But I would love to see it. It
was more of a personal like, I would love to see it as open world.
I would love it as well. I'm open for change.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Talking about change, let's move on. We don't want to spend too much time on each topic. So
I think we're gonna switch up.
Yes.
Yes. Let's switch it up. We have so last one we have Nintendo with the Nintendo Direct, and we know we're gonna see Smash Bros. For Nintendo Switch finally, and let's guess what else is happening there. Any suggestions?
Rumors have it that we're going to see Star Fox Racing game.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, right, that one.
What? Okay, I mean, it's Retro Studios. First of all, whatever they do, it's going to be great. That's there's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
And they worked on Mario Kart and designed tracks for it, so they have experience in that field. And the idea of making a game that is like Diddy Kong Racing meets F-Zero sounds really interesting. So I think it might be actually a great game. It's not what I wanted from Retro. I wanted something maybe even a little bit more focused on story, but I'm taking it.
Yeah.
Anybody know what with the Rabbids X Mario game is? The DLC, when did that release?
I'm not entirely sure either, but I think that might be at E3. They might show a little bit more of that.
I just since I follow Rapid Peach on Instagram, I see all the funniest shit from that character. I love that what they did with that. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And
that was clever. It was very, very clever.
So
Nintendo already said they wanted to focus on this year, which I guess makes sense because we really don't know what's coming. So there still can be a lot of surprises, like this is coming in 2 months or something like that. But the downside is I really want to see Metroid Prime 4, and I'm not sure if they are going to show it if it's just 2018, because that game is not going to come out in 2018, is it?
No.
I don't think so.
Probably next year.
It doesn't feel like it.
I really have another mini game of Metroid where everyone says like, "Why?"
Federation Force 2.
No more.
Please. No.
No, but I think they will show something. They have to. Like, why wouldn't they? They announced it last year. Now they have to show something. It's not with Pokemon where they like, but we have this. Pokemon fans are happy right now. So, but Metroid fans, they still don't know anything. Yep. Also, speaking of knowing nothing, Fire Emblem. That game should come out this year, and we know nothing. Nothing.
We have, of course, also Splatoon 2 DLC, which was slated for summer, so probably a release date, proper one and all that. Yeah, lots of things to see from them, and of course the online subscription service, which still needs like a proper announcement from them.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
This E3 is setting up to be something spectacular.
Is it?
Well, you've got so many interesting things that could happen. So it's just kind of, there's a lot of question marks, which makes it more of an interesting experience. It's like heading into a film going, okay, I know it's about superheroes, but what are they going to do with the superhero? So I'm super stoked. I'm really interested to see what they bring up and any new games that we've never heard anything from, and they're just like, "Ha! Here's a game, surprise!" So yeah,
surprises happen. Like with was it 2016 with the Shenmue 3? That was amazing. Who knows?
And the games haven't come out yet.
No.
Final Fantasy 7 remake.
Don't say that.
I mean, it's the same with the Final Fantasy VII remake, actually. They hyped it up so immensely, and that will still take, like, I guess, 3 more years.
Yeah.
Probably one of the last 3 games for PlayStation 4, and we get 1 year later a port to PlayStation 5 or something. I don't know. Could be. Could be. All right,
but there are a lot of question marks. I mean, like Nintendo, there are games like Fire Emblem, Metroid Prime, Pokemon even. Like, those are games, or Bayonetta 3, that they have announced them, but we don't know anything about them. And, like, I mean, I know what Bayonetta 3 is going to be like, because Bayonetta is a very clear idea. But Metroid Prime 4, like, what's that going to be like? What's Fire Emblem going to be like? I don't know, and I'm really interested in that.
Yeah, no.
And maybe they will show something else, like, here's Animal Crossing.
They will probably also plug Mario Tennis Aces. Because it's out at the end of the month.
Yeah,
they probably still say like, oh, by the way, while you're here, there's also this new Mario game.
Don't they have a tournament for that as well? I think they have a tournament for Smash Brothers and for Mario Tennis, or no, Splatoon, right?
Splatoon 2 and Smash. Yeah, it's not for the tennis game.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we have almost forgot about it. We also had a news story running on our website about Fortnite. And if
oh yeah, exactly.
Right there it is. Where's my Stream Deck? I need the pictures of my Stream Deck. Yeah, so apparently,
pictures of Stream Deck.
Apparently, because of the Korean ratings board, we know that there is an entry now for Fortnite for the Nintendo Switch. And that highly suggests, of course, that there will be a release imminent very soon, and that could be one of those bombs at E3 where everyone says like, "Oh my god, that's amazing!"
Yeah, Fortnite is one of those games which you could see really being put onto the Switch. Like you can't see like PUBG. No, it's not cartoonish. It's not like enough of a kind of like, "Hey, this is awesome and bright and cool and funny." Yeah. Whereas that is the real drive of the Switch. The Switch is a fun console that you can take anywhere, that you can play anything, and all of their games are bright and interesting and cool. But I really don't see them doing something like PUBG on it. So yeah, Fortnite, it's been, I wouldn't say a long time coming, but it's not completely unexpected.
Yeah, right. I agree with that. So I'm really interested to see if one last thing. I'm really interested to see if Nintendo is doing something crazy again. Like they're always good for something that just comes out of left field, and you're like,
"What?"
Yeah, like I didn't see that coming. Like Lebo, like what the fuck? Okay, and I think maybe there will be one game that will be like that again. That would be great. Like.
Do you think we'll see something about the new Pokemon game? Like not Let's Go. You'll probably see something about Let's Go, but the core RPG, which is slated for 2019.
Probably not.
Yeah. Probably just like a side sentence, like, yeah, there will be something new there, so people know about it. But
I mean, Nintendo also, they don't just have E3; they have their directs, so they want to split it up.
The Treehouse, yeah. I guess. Yeah,
maybe they have something like, here's Eternal Darkness 2. What the fuck? Okay, cool.
No One Lives Forever Part X.
I
don't know.
Would be great, yes. I would take that.
Or something really crazy would be like the next 007 game, but only for Nintendo Switch, like back for the GameCube and Nintendo 64 days, but in the same graphic style. Like, oh my god, it's amazing! I can play it on my toilet and paint anyway. It looks like shit, like it used to be.
And the same controls as back then, like really shitty controls.
Oh yeah. Please give me another handlebar below the Nintendo Switch, so I can have my third hand also somewhere. That would be funny. Or something that we would never suggest, like, hey, Nintendo actually has actual party support for voice chat. Nah. Has anyone ever tried this function in Splatoon 2 with voice chat via mobile phone?
No,
I didn't.
Yeah.
I always use just Discord. I can play it just at my PC here and just play it in my hands. It's even better with the motion controls, I think. So, what have you, right?
I just saw an interesting question in the chat, which I think you guys could answer. Do you think they should bring back old Nintendo games onto the Switch?
Well, they shouldn't be too old.
Well, yeah, not too old, but definitely bring some games back. Like,
I think, like, clearly Nintendo's Entertainment System and Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Oh, and stay again, hey! Like, these two generations, we had so many platforms to play them on. We have the mini consoles now. I'm clearly for stop that. Let's continue with the Nintendo 64 remaster, or at least, virtual consoles or GameCube games that we can play on Nintendo Switch. That's what I'm out for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want that too, but I'm not seeing it happen, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like,
yeah, but it's Nintendo. That's the reason why.
Hashtag it's just Nintendo.
Yeah, they fuck things up. They have so many opportunities to do something great, and they're not going to do it. That's Nintendo. They're doing great things. Don't get me wrong, but they could be doing so much more great things.
When you were really upset about Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze Country, the price for that remake.
60,
what was it again?
$60.
Full price, right, for a remaster.
Yeah. And it was cheaper on Switch when it came out originally. They want more for the port than for the than you had to pay when the game came out first. What? No.
No. Nintendo Switch is not that much better.
But the thing is, I can't really say that's a mistake because people bought it or people are buying it. So Nintendo is doing everything right when it comes to business right now, but they are not doing it right for me. Like the last half year was terrible for me because there was not much new out there. Ports, and I like that those ports are coming, but I need something new as well because I played those games on Wii U. I'm one of those idiots. So
yeah, well, like it was. I agree with your point entirely because I like having consoles and I like playing video games, but I can't justify getting the Switch yet because there's like two or three games that I want, and that's it. And I can't justify like buying a console just for 2 or 3 games. If you give me more variety, then
exactly.
I'll start to do it. But
my most viewed video was the one where I was like, okay, I'm not buying Switch at launch,
which was crazy, right?
Yeah, and people reacted very badly to it. What are you doing? You are destroying Nintendo. You're killing the Switch.
Single-handedly, you're so powerful. With just one snap of your finger, Nintendo dissolves.
And in reality, I was like, I see the appeal and I like it and I want to get it eventually, but right now I can play Breath of the Wild on Wii U, so why should I get a Switch? Yeah. I don't get a new game. I don't want to play one to Switch. I don't give away with that. I don't want that. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I played it. Of course, I played it with friends and it was a little bit of fun, but it's a game you play once and that's it, you know?
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it for E3 pre-discussion.
So much.
I don't know if it will happen. I have the hopes that next week when I'm in London, or Reading rather, that we all Reading, that we all can do a podcast together in one room. So that would be
super cool.
Super cool, super amazing. And right after E3, we would also, of course, talk about all the things that we saw now over the weekend. So look forward to that. I'm really excited for that one.
I'm going to watch it. Now I want to know how you guys are going to react to things that are going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. Dan, you and I will probably live stream our reactions probably, like we did with Battlefield.
I'll be definitely down for that, especially for the Microsoft one.
Yeah,
absolutely. I still have an old video when they were talking about the Xbox One X before it was called that. Like, that video really it was just me going, oh shit, and it was quite funny because I remember my parents weren't quite sure what was happening, so they called downstairs and they were like, "Are you okay?" And I'm just like, "I'm fine." I'm fine.
Nice.
But I'm definitely down to do as many as possible. I might even with the Sunday into the Monday one, I might stay up and just do a massive long one, maybe play some games in between.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, I'll join you for that as well. So that's what you can look forward to soon. I will talk about all the places at the end of the podcast.
That's the main message here, right? Let's just have fun.
Yeah.
Bring on the great games. Let's enjoy this.
Show us what you got.
Yeah.
Show me the video game.
Show me what you got.
Show me the pictures of the video games.
I want pictures of video games.
Right now. All right, then let's get on to the last part of the podcast, which we shortened because we talked about a lot of things already. So for releases, we have 3 games that we want to focus on, and we also have a little part where Emily will talk about games that are at least worth mentioning, I guess. So for the first one, we have Super Bomberman R. It's not a pirate game, but yeah,
there's R on the end of it.
Yeah.
So
it's coming out on June 12th and will cost us €40. And that one's out on all the platforms and, of course, also on Steam, as you can see right now. And it's basically like 3D Bomberman, right? One trailer that you can see. Not too exciting, but for people that love Bomberman games, of course.
Is it the same game as on Switch?
I think so.
The one that came out, there was a Bomberman game for Switch at launch. I think that's it, right? That was called Super Bomberman Air, I think. I could be wrong.
I really don't know enough about the Wii U.
No, Switch. It was a Switch launch game.
Oh.
Yes, sorry. Should be, right? Yeah, I remember. Now that you're saying it on the Switch. Says here in our list that this one's going to PC, PS4, and Xbox One. So yeah, it's probably already out on the Switch.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you're saying it,
It was a launch game.
I also remember. Alright, yeah, that's out on June 12th.
And by the way, guys, just to applaud on this, a game made by Konami.
I'm holding back on that one. Yeah, I know. I mean, on Steam they have the advantage that they have the co-op character from Portal. So that's a cute thing. I think they have all for their platforms some special character included. I think they have a Halo costume for Microsoft and another thing for Sony as well. So each platform has a little cosmetic thing. Yeah. And yes, chat already says Super Bomberman R is already out on the Switch. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like Binding of Isaac, which apparently was out on the US but not in the EU. Although they said like it's always worldwide releases, so I don't get it. Okay, next game is Jurassic World Evolution.
Nice.
Also out on June 12th, developed and published by Frontier Developments. Right. Base
Does
game,
that go alongside the game, like the film that's coming out, which is like now?
Does that come out on June 12th?
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's out yet.
I think it's out yet. The movie
reviews
is
are
out
out
yet.
at least.
So
I mean,
like it's going
It
along
could be
with
out in
the film.
Germany and not out in the UK. Sometimes it's weird. I don't get it either.
Tell me, Cineworld.
Maybe it's out.
Lend
But
me your
I have a
knowledge.
friend who watched it. He might have seen a press
Just
screening.
come
I'm
out,
not
chat
sure.
says.
Yeah, it came out today.
Alright.
Yeah.
Nice.
What's cool about this, and there actually is a base version that costs €55, and the deluxe edition costs like €60. So hey, it's not like overly expensive. Don't know what the extra is for the deluxe version, but you can see it for yourself, of course, on Steam, as we see right now.
You get to name your own dinosaur.
Yoshi.
What would you all name your own dinosaurs? Like, what would you name them? Like, if you had a dinosaur, what would it be?
It would be a Thinkosaurus.
Is that a real thing?
It's part of the joke. What do you call a dinosaur with no eyes? Did you think he saw us?
Okay. Last game on the list is The Incredibles Lego version. And it's coming out on June 15th. Developed by TT Games and published by Warner Bros. Coming out for €40 on Steam at least. And here are all the other platforms as well. PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch. So we got
I
that.
remember when I still liked Lego games, when I was like, oh, that's cool. But now it's
My gosh, yeah.
it's always the same game with another layer on it. Like, oh, now it's Lord of the Rings, now it's Star Wars, now it's that. But it's always the same game.
It was cool with Star Wars when they started that, and
Yeah,
then they had
I love
like
that.
Indiana Jones was thinking like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
probably works,
there's
all that.
Indiana Jones.
And so many more games like I mean, it's for I think children. I think that's fair to say, like for a younger audience.
And it's a
really
great
fun and
children's game, I
friendly,
guess.
and yeah.
It's not a bad game.
No,
it's just
no,
a little
no.
bit more of the same.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
It's
Shout
like
out
Telltale
to
games.
shout out to the guys that played the original Incredibles game when it came out. That was
Oh yeah, I played it.
that was good stuff.
I had
Oh,
a
geez.
friend who had it, and yeah, I played it. I
What was it?
actually, with the same friend, I traded Metroid Prime. I got Metroid Prime. He got the Scooby-Doo game.
Oh. Oh my god. Okay.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Good
All right.
stuff.
And Emily, you have also a few more games on the list. Would you like to introduce
So
them?
I literally just went through them. So the first one is Omega Strike, coming out to PS4, Xbox One, And it's coming out June either the 12th or 15th. And the same one is, well, there's another one called Tennis World Tour coming out to PC and Nintendo Switch. That's coming out June 12th or 19th. Must be coming out different places.
Yeah.
Sky Moon, Steam Early Access, PC, that's coming out June 14th. And also coming out June 14th is Ark Survival Evolved. And it's coming out to Android and iOS. Oh.
That's interesting.
Okay.
How is it? How have they stabilized it enough to put it on iOS and Android?
I don't know.
Did I miss something?
Maybe they render the most parts for the game on the servers. I can't expect it any different. Or the resolution.
There's no way.
Resolution is not HD then.
But I can't get it to run on my PC.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Ebony, there's still one more. Would you please?
And then there's Wreckfest official launch, which is on PC.
I think that's out of early access then by Steam.
Cool.
Oh, is it out on early access?
Yeah.
And that's coming out June 14th as well.
I think I have that even. I'm not too sure about that. It came out back in January 2014. So it's been developed for quite a while. And
interesting.
Because 35 euros or has a deluxe edition of 45 euros. All right. It's called Next Car Game Wreckfest. That was the previous one, apparently. Interesting. So it's more like an update of an already based game. Okay. Well, that's it then for the show. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us, especially Martin as our guest. Thank you so much.
it was a pleasure.
Martin,
Great to have you, my man.
the guest
Thank
always
you.
has the honor to start with the what's it called? Shout outs to yourself. So let us know where people can find you and of course what you would do next.
Yeah, well, just go for German wit at Twitter. And maybe someday I will be like, hey, I'm doing something in English. Until then, if you're capable of understanding German, just look out for AuBanan. That's my YouTube channel, and Unlimited Ammo, where I do podcast. And especially Unlimited Ammo, there will be a lot of stuff, like a lot of different podcasts, and it can be anything.
Yeah, unlimited love for that one.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, we're going to do something about E3 as well, of course. So you can also check out what we have to say.
Cool. Dan, what about you?
Well, you can always find me right here. Anytime, anywhere. Just look for DJ8321 and you can find me anywhere you want. And if I'm on there, I will be there. So send me a message, send me hello, say hello.
And
I'll be
follow
happy
you
to
on
hang out.
twitch.tv/DJH331 for
Yes.
miniature painting.
Yes, miniature painting, putting together miniatures. I do that in my spare time as a hobby thing. So definitely come and hang out and show some love, and I'll show some love back.
Cool. Elmony, what about you? Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter. Give me a follow.
Give me a follow.
Give me a follow, mate. Yeah. You can find me at EmilyHM45. And that's about it, really. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook.
All right.
Any social.
Yeah. And of course, my name is Taustest, HAU5 Test. Find me everywhere you want, but especially find me where the new Byte is. The newbyte.com is a website where we publish news, shows, and of course this podcast here. So it's basically the hub to everything. Follow us, of course, on Twitter at The New Byte, and please also on YouTube. We want to get those damn 100 subscribers. We already made our 50, so that's amazing. Thank you so much for that. And of course, join our Discord, because we also love to talk to you, have little updates. We have a nice spot that will also share cat and dog pictures, which is always nice. So if you need to break up your move, that's you can join that under thenewbyte.com/Discord. Simple as that. And yeah, guys, that's it then for the show. Thank you so much for this podcast. See you again very soon. At last next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.